Dear students of class 7, today we shall learn chapter 1 from your social and political life part 2, and name of the chapter is on equality. Let's begin. Dear students, in this chapter we will be discussing the following points. Number 1, importance of equality in democracy. 2, types of inequality. Third, equality in Indian democracy. 4, issues of equality, especially in other countries. 5, challenge of democracy. Now let us try to understand the first point, importance of equality in democracy. Dear students, as you all of you know that India is a democratic country. As democratic country, equality is a key feature of democracy. It influences all aspects of its functioning. Therefore, what is equality? Equality, first of all, it is an ideal that states that all people, irrespective of their wealth, religion, creed, caste, everybody is equal. Therefore, our Indian Constitution gives special place for equality, and equality is expressed through universal adult franchise. That means every adult, irrespective of wealth, communities he or she belongs, has the right to vote. Now we come to the second point, types of inequality. In India, we have different types of inequality. Especially in this chapter, we will be focusing on two main inequalities. They are 2.1 caste system and 2.2 untouchability. Next point, number 3, equality in Indian democracy. The Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. This means that every individual in the country, including male and female persons from all caste, religions, tribes, educational and economic backgrounds, are recognized as equal. Therefore, this is not to say that inequality ceases to exist. It doesn't, but at least in democratic India, the principle of the equality of all persons is recognized. Further, the Indian Constitution gives the following provisions in the Constitution. First, that every person is equal before the law, which means that every person from the president of the country to any single person or domestic worker has to obey the same laws. Second, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste, place of birth, or whether they are female or male. Third, every person has access to all public places, including playgrounds, hotels, shops, and markets. All persons can use publicly available wells, roads, and bathing. Fourth, untouchability. The Constitution clearly highlights that untouchability has been abolished. So these are some of the provisions that Constitution lays down for each and every person living in India. There are two ways in which the government has tried to implement the equality that is guaranteed in the Constitution. First, through laws, and second, through government programs or schemes to help disadvantaged communities. Especially, one of the steps taken by the government includes the midday meal scheme. This refers to the what, what, what do we understand midday meal scheme? It refers to the program introduced in our government elementary schools to provide children with cooked lunch. Finally, what do we see? While the government programs play an important role in increasing equality of opportunity, there is much that still needs to be done. While the midday meal program has helped increase the enrollment and attendance of poor children in school, there continues to be big difference in our country between schools that the rich attend and those that the poor attend. Even today, there are several schools in the country in which Dalit children are discriminated against and treated unequally. Next, we move on to the next point: issues of equality in other countries. Is equality found only in India? No. In other countries also there are issues regarding inequality, and there also struggle for equality continues to exist. The truth is that in many democratic countries around the world, the issue of equality continues to be the key issue around which communities struggle. For example, in the United States of America, the African Americans whose ancestors were the slaves who were brought over from Africa continue to describe their lives today as largely unequal. Further, African Americans were treated extremely unequally in the United States and denied equally through law. For example, when traveling by bus, they either had to sit at the back of the bus or get up from their seat whenever while person wished to sit. Rosa Parks was an African American woman. Tried from a long day to work, she refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man on 1st December 1955. Her refusal that day started a huge agitation against the unequal ways in which African Americans were treated, and which came to be known as the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin. And finally, we come to challenge of democracy. So, dear children, no country can be described as being completely democratic. There are always communities and individuals trying to expand the idea of democracy and push for a greater recognition of equality on existing as well as new issues. Central to this is the struggle for recognition of all persons as equal and for their dignity to be maintained. I hope that all of you have understood the following points that we have discussed in this chapter on equality. Thank you.